Hey y'all, and welcome back to another video of My Creative Life with Kelsi, where we read books, we make art, and essentially do whatever our creative hearts desire. Today we are talking about my September TBR, not my August wrap-up, and I will get more into that in just a moment. But before I do, I just want to thank you all for all the support and comments that I received while I was taking a very short break from YouTube. It was literally just a week or so, but with all the plans that I had in mind and just the content schedule that I had going, it felt longer. A lot of that had to do with that really was just, I had a whole content schedule planned out. I was putting out crafting videos. I was getting ready for what is supposed to be fall. We are currently in a heat wave here in LA, so fan is currently blowing on me. I hope I'm not picking up any of that on this mic, but I had a lot planned and I needed to slow down, mainly because of personal reasons in my family and having to go back home. But I also learned I actually did need to slow down and recenter myself regardless, and I appreciate all of the respect and love that was sent by you wonderful people when I kind of commented and mentioned that I needed to kind of take a little bit of a hiatus for just a couple of days and a week after the cadence that I had started, to really address a lot of that. So I really appreciate it, and I wanted to start off this video mentioning that. I also want to talk about the fact that August sucked as far as the month goes all around, and I got into a humongous reading slump. My last TBR video, I said all I was reading was House of Leaves with Ellie from Your Spooky Mom on Instagram. We both ended up having a horrible August. I'm hoping it's the setup for a wonderful September, but we did not finish House of Leaves whatsoever, and I was having a good time, and I started a vlog of me reading those chapters, and I want to continue doing that. So when I pick it back up, I do want to continue reading the chapters and kind of talking to y'all a little bit more about everything in the book and what I was reading. It will just take me a little bit longer to get through. I was enjoying myself though, so it was really a life thing, not necessarily a book slump thing. For me personally, I started to get through Life Ceremony, which was fine, but it wasn't, there were some great stories here and there. I just wasn't in the mindset to really listen to them yet. And I'm like more than halfway through, and I think I'm gonna finish it. But I'm kind of just ready to start clean, period. So let's get into the intro. Let me tell you what I have planned for September for this TBR, and just some exciting, very exciting news as well as far as content and everything. If you're really happy with what I've been putting out, what to expect in the upcoming month. So you guys are getting it earlier before anybody else. So let's get into it. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, August just sucked. It was a wash. I had plenty of plans. I was supposed to read I Who Have Never Known Men. To be honest with you, I was going to finish reading Life Ceremony. There was another translated fiction that I had and I've been meaning to read. All of that did not happen, of course, because life decided to life very hard last August, and I just didn't get to it. But that's okay. We move forward. We move forward. However, with September being Latin Heritage Month, I really wanted to get into Latin horror, to get into Latin American horror, because I have heard such great things, and unfortunately, I realized I don't really have any Latin American horror that I've been reading, and that's upsetting because the amount of amazing novels coming out of like Latin American culture is just out of this world. If you are not currently following Coffee and Cuentos over on Instagram, I highly recommend it. Ashley is amazing and is constantly recommending amazing like just Latin America across the board, translated novels, and just the just amazing recs. So please go and follow her if you have not, or if you weren't aware. I know that my TBR has grown exponentially since I started following her, and I am so excited to share some of the things that are on my TBR for this month as I delve into Latin American horror. So to start off, something that everyone knows, Our Share of Night. I am reading Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. I am excited and scared because this is a thick one compared to what I usually read. However, one thing I have heard quite a bit is that a lot of people who usually aren't thick book readers have enjoyed this book. They said that it doesn't read like it's thick. It's that good of a story. So I'm excited. The audiobook is saying it's about 24 hours or so, I want to say. It's a little bit, it's a little daunting. I'm very excited. I think that I'm saying that and I'm staring at it and I'm very scared. I'm very scared, but I'm excited for it. Let's read about what it's about. A young father and son set out on a road trip, devastated by the death of the wife and mother they both loved. United in grief, the pair travel to her ancestral home, where they must confront the terrifying legacy she has bequeathed, a family called the Order that commits unspeakable acts in search of immortality. Moving back and forth in time from London and the swinging 1960s to the brutal years of Argentina's military dictatorship and its turbulent aftermath, Our Share of Night is a novel like no other. A family story, a ghost story, a story of the occult and the supernatural. A book about the complexities of love and longing with queer subplots and themes. This is a masterwork of one of Latin America's most original novelists, a mesmerizing writer, says Dave Eggers, who demands to be read. I love this. And this is so perfect going into the October season. Ghost stories, occult stories, family trauma, which I think is so perfect for me personally in my life right now. So I'm just very excited for this. This is also a translated piece of work, and I can't wait to get to it. Now, looking at it, there's concern, but how many pages is this? 588 pages. Let's be afraid, and let's get excited, because this one's getting read. I'm going to read just to get myself started back in the reading. This won't be my first read of this month. This will get read. Why everyone in the world was obsessing over this book, this thick book. I also got this, I had mentioned, I think in my last TBR or book haul video I had mentioned that I had a very big book haul coming up. It is still coming. I am looking right at the shelf right now because I now have 2 TBR shelves. Remember when this was just my only one? Yeah, no longer. I've reached the book influencer space where I now need 2 shelves for my TBR, which I'm not happy with, to be honest with you. And I think that I am going to put myself on a book buying ban. I hate that word, but I really do need to, some of this needs to be taken down, which I'm not worried about, but the way that I read, where I base my TBR off of the books that I have in I base my TBR back on like what that month celebrates. It's not the fact that I don't want to read these books, it's fact of like, do they fit in the space that I'm trying to read in right now? Even with Our Share of Night and The Hacienda, which I'm about to talk about, I'm just sitting there like, some of these books just don't fit. And again, that's a good thing because it's proof that you're just like, okay, you need to be buying more diversity in your books and everything. So I'm just kind of looking at it. I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. Book haul will be coming soon enough. So this was one of those books. I'm happy that they now offer it in a paperback. I've become a paperback girly because, to be honest with you, hardcovers, I used to be hardcover all the way, and now I'm realizing it really ain't worth, the juice ain't worth the squeeze on that. Like, it's not that amazing. And they are sitting here at $30, sometimes $40 for a hardcover, and this one is 19 bucks. This was 19, and it's only 19 because of how thick it was. I think the actual hardcover one is like nearing 40 bucks. And I'm like, that's expensive. Like, that's not a habit you can keep up. So I'm happy that this is now available in paperback. I feel like it's more accessible now. So, very floppy, this one. I'm excited and scared for it. Next, The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. I am excited. I talked about this one in my book haul, and I was talking about how this was definitely going to get read during September, which I'm excited about because it's taking place like in the aftermath of the Mexican War of Independence, and it feels like juicy. I'm gonna reread the back of the novel here, but it feels like a very creepy telenovela type of thing going on. Let's get through the like whole synopsis. During the overthrow of the Mexican government, Beatrice's father was executed and her home destroyed. When handsome Don Rodolfo Solorzano proposes, Beatrice ignores the rumors surrounding his first wife's sudden demise, choosing instead to seize the security that his estate in the countryside provides. She will have her own home again, no matter the cost. But Hacienda San Isidro is not the sanctuary she imagined. When Rodolfo returns to work in the capital, visions and voices invade Beatrice's sleep. The weight of invisible eyes follows her every move. Rodolfo's sister, Juana, scoffs at Beatrice's fears. But why does she refuse to enter the house at night? Why does the cook burn copal incense at the edge of the kitchen and mark the doorway with strange symbols? What really happened to the first Doña Solorzano? Beatrice only knows two things for certain. Something is wrong with the hacienda, and no one there will save her. Desperate for help, she clings to the young priest, Padre Andreas, as an ally. No ordinary priest. Andreas will have to rely on his skills as a witch to fight off the malevolent presence haunting the hacienda and protect the woman from whom he feels a powerful, forbidden attraction. But even he may not be enough to battle the darkness. Far from a refuge, San Isidro may be Beatrice's doom. That last paragraph had y'all, I know it. Because the priest, who's actually a witch, who's in love with Beatrice, who is married to a whole other man? What? This is supposed to be a very Mexican Gothic type of book. And as we know, Gothics just don't usually do it for me. It's just a given. I get bored very easily. However, with the drama that's supposed to be in this, I'm very much looking forward to it, and I cannot wait. I think this will be the first book that I read, getting back into everything. I'm trying to finish Life Ceremony. We will see. If honestly it starts to drag on, I might have to cut my losses on it. It's not that it's not good. It's not grabbing me. There's been some stories that have been really, really good, but it's a lot of short stories, so you can't really get too invested. And right now it's sitting like at maybe like a 2.5 to 3. And not like something bad, but just, and I'm already coming off of a slump and I'm ready to get out of it. So this, I feel like that last sentence was, that last paragraph was like, let's fall in love with the priest. Okay, those are the two that I have physical copies of currently. Let's get into, I have 3 more. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my plans for September after that as well. So the next 3 I do not have physical copies of yet. If they good, I'll buy them. See, and that's what I mean by book buying ban, is I will be listening to them, and if they're good, I will buy the physical copy, which is what I started off this year doing. And then, opportunities arose. And I took advantage. And I need to reel it on back. So let's move on to the next book. Okay, next on my list is another one that has been super popular, and I'm just tired. One, the cover's amazing. I've wanted to read it for some time now, and I'm tired of being out the loop because now everybody and their mother has read it, and that's Monstrillo by Geraldo Samano Cordova. I have been meaning to read this for the longest amount of time. And literally since I think that maybe like the end of last year, I was like September that's getting read. It almost got read in June because I've heard that this is a queer novel. And June got tied up with a lot of different other ones. And so I was like, we can run the block again during September. So this one definitely I will need to be getting read for sure. Let's read it. Grieving mother Magos cuts out a piece of her deceased 11-year-old son Santiago's lung. Acting on fierce maternal instinct and the dubious logic of an old folktale, she nurtures the lung until it gains sentience. Growing into carnivorous little Monstrillo, she keeps hidden within the walls of her family's decaying Mexico City estate. Eventually, Monstrillo begins to resemble the Santiago he once was, but his innate impulses, though curbed by his biological and chosen family's communal care, threaten to destroy this fragile second chance at life. A thought-provoking meditation on grief, acceptance, and the monstrous sides of love and loyalty, Geraldo Samano Cordova blends bold imagination and evocative prose with deep emotional rigor. Told in 4 acts that span the globe from Brooklyn to Berlin, Monstrillo offers with uncanny clarity a cathartic and precise portrait of being human. How amazing. I love it. I feel like it's like a little Frankenstein tale. Like, I feel like it's baby Frankenstein in Mexico. That's what it's giving. for me. I'm very excited to see where it goes. A lot of people have said that it's really great. I've not heard one person go, this wasn't a good book. And I'm ready. One, I'm ready to have that cover in my collection because the cover is amazing. I don't know. I need to look up who made that cover, but that cover is amazing. I feel like it's striking and it's lovely. And it's also not a hugely long book. I think that the audiobook for this is like maybe it's 8 hours. It's 8 hours. So completely doable. The Hacienda is 11. I think I might even start at the gate with Monsterly. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I need something shorter so that I can just go like, wow, I knocked that out. Let's keep momentum. And that one seems like a layup as far as like something that's good. I think I'm going to start off with that one. I'm very excited for it though, and it seems really, really good. But I'm pretty positive I'm going to read that next. I already have it on my Libby. So, which, again, I cannot say this enough. If you have family members or if you're from another state or whatever, register your Libby in those counties. Because the amount of times that something has not been available in LA and I just use my Dayton library card and it's available like that. Because if I was trying to get any of these books this month, LA was like not having it. They're like, it's going to be 8 weeks. It's going to be 16 weeks. I think there's one thing on here that's like 16 weeks right now. One, I can't get my share of night until it's telling me 6 weeks. But I'm third in line. But there was only one copy. I'm like, this was a popular book. I don't know why there's one copy. And then I'm also waiting for what we'll move into my next book, Pink Slime by Fernanda Trias. This came out this year and it sounded so interesting to me that I wanted to read it during translation month last month. That was a wash. So it absolutely was on my list to read this month. And I'm going to read the whole, I'm like looking up it's so good. A taut, harrowing novel about a woman and the people who depend on her as the world around them teeters on the edge of apocalypse, marking an award-winning Latin American author's U.S. debut. In a city ravaged by a mysterious plague, a woman tries to understand why her world is falling apart. An algae bloom has poisoned the previous pristine air that blows in from the sea. Inland, a secretive corporation turns out the only food anyone can afford, a revolting pink paste made of an unknown substance. In the short, desperate breaks between deadly windstorms, our narrator stubbornly tends to her few remaining with her difficult but vulnerable mother, with the ex-husband for whom she still harbors feelings, and the boy she nannies, whose parents send him away even as terrible threats loomed. Yet, as conditions outside deteriorate further, her commitment to remaining in place only grows, even if staying means being left behind. An evocative elegy for a safe, clean world, Pink Slime is buoyed by humor and its narrative's resiliency. This unforgettable novel explores the place where love, responsibility, and self-preservation converge, and the beauty and fragility of our most intimate relationships. I love it. I really want a little bit more sci-fi. It's giving more sci-fi than horror, and that's great because I've been reading a lot of horror. I mean, that's what we read here. But I also love sci-fi, and I like weird stuff. They're eating pink slime? Like, just pink paste? We don't know where it came from. We're just eating it? We're on the edge of an apocalypse? Sounds a little bit right to me in this heat. It sounds so interesting. And again, love this cover. It's so simple but amazing. And the name, Pink Slime, I love it. It's translated, so that's always a concern. I haven't had a lot of luck with translated novels. That's just something that I've realized is just not a big hit for me. But one thing that I know when I was reading last month is that I really wanted to try to read more Spanish translated novels, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that I just feel like I've been reading a lot of Japanese translated and the culture shift is not working. I'm hoping that I get a little bit, I have 2 translated novels on this list this month, Spanish translated, and so I'm hoping that I have a little bit more luck. But this seems like a lot more like I'll have a lot more luck with maybe some Spanish translated novels. I hope. Fingers crossed. I'm still waiting on this, and it says I have 12 weeks on Libby. No, is it 12? Am I just making that up? Yeah, it's 12. And it's a 6-hour book. So I'm hoping I'm 35th in line. There's 6 copies in use. I don't know. I'm always checking if there's like availability at my other libraries. But the thing with this one is that none of my other libraries have it. Because I'm signed up at San Jose and Dayton, which is where I'm originally from. And there's nothing there. Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. I'm hoping that I can read it before the month is up. I'll find some other way to read it, but I know like next month is October. I already have my TBR set up for that basically. Then there's November, which I want to read a lot of indigenous horror and like nonfiction. Like, I don't know, I'm going back and forth on whether or not like the nonfiction that I've been collecting I want to read, like that are memoirs, I'll read during December or during November, which is supposed to be like the time that's like nonfiction November. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm pretty positive it'll end up being December, so I don't know. The last book that I have on my TBR this month is Pinata by Leopoldo Gout. I've seen this since, I think I want to say back in February. I saw this book and I immediately wanted to read it. And I was like, it's got to happen in September. That's the only time that it's going to happen is in September. This one really is about haunting and everything. I think I've heard some people go, if you like The Ruins, you may like this book because it has the same plot basis in the idea of like haunted Latin American ghost story type of thing. A Head Full of Ghosts meets Hereditary in Pinata, a terrifying possession tale by author and artist Leopoldo Gout. Carmen Sanchez is back in her home country of Mexico overseeing the renovation of an ancient cathedral into a boutique hotel. Her teen daughters, Isel and Luna, are with her for the summer and left to fill their afternoons unsupervised in a foreign city. The locals treat the Sanchez women like outsiders, while Carmen's contractors openly defy and sabotage her work. After a disastrous accident at the construction site nearly injures Luna, Carmen's had enough. They're leaving. Back in New York, Luna begins acting strange, and only Isel notices the chilling changes happening to her younger sister. But it might be too late for the Sanchez family to escape what's been awakened. Pinata is a bone-chilling story about how the sinister repercussions of our past can return to haunt us. I That sounds so much fun. I've been waiting to read this for the longest, so I'm very, very excited. I already have it on Libby, and it is 12 hours, so your average length. I don't have it yet, but I have high hopes. I have high hopes for that one. I'm hoping Monsterio is great. You know, that one sounds so, the whole Head Full of Ghosts meets Hereditary. I mean, while I'm not a huge fan of when like people on the back of books compare books to movies, I've noticed that and I've said that quite a few times. Hereditary's creepy as hell, so maybe so I'm not too mad at it if what it means is what it means. So I'm excited. I think that that sounds really fun, and I don't know. Hacienda keeps on getting pushed back because Pinata sounds a lot of fun and I already have it. So I think right now the lineup is I'm going to read Monstrilio, then I'm going to read Pinata. Maybe I'm pretty positive as soon as I get Our Share of Night. The problem is that like I don't have Our Share of Night yet, and that has to do with me not being more preemptive because usually I'll get stuff early so that I'm ready for it for the month. But you see, this is where we're at. So I think with what I have right now, until I can get that, I'm going to read Pinata next, and then it's going to be the Hacienda. And then I'm just waiting on Pink Slime and Our Share of Night. I'm so excited though. Reading like the back, like all of those books just sound a lot of fun, and also aren't all the same book. I think that's another thing that kind of put me in a slump is I was reading a lot of some of the same books. So I'm very, very excited to be reading like what I have right now and seeing like where that goes for September. So I'm excited. That's my TBR. September's gonna be busy. And I'm excited for it because I'm reorganized. So I feel excited for what's the possibility. One, I will be participating in Slime and Slashers, as I've talked about their work and their channel so much on this channel. I participated in their like nostalgia-thon, that's what they call it, in April for my birthday, and it was so much fun. It was Old School April. Make sure that you go check out that video because it was a lot of fun. I watched a lot of nostalgic stuff, and it was just like a great boost, like as far as my birthday month was concerned. I had such a ball, and they have another activity-a-thon and read-a-thon, watch-a-thon, everything-a-thon in October. Well, it starts in September. So basically for the fall, and it's their Halloween-a-thon, and I will be participating in it this year. It is different from Old School April because what you actually will be doing is a board game. So I will be putting out plenty of content starting September 22nd that revolves around a lot of that. As of right now, I've not started planning, but, and I will say a little bit more to that in just a moment, but I do plan, since it does start in September, and I really do want to give enough time and not overwhelm myself in regards to my TBR that I already have for September with Latin Heritage Month. I won't be starting any like book reading type of things that feel very specific to Halloween until October actually hits. So if there's any books that I'm currently reading that fit the prompts for Halloween-a-thon, I will count them, but I won't be revolving. I decided my TBR is not going to revolve around me starting the Halloween-a-thon. I really do want to read these books, and I don't want to overwork myself or overwhelm myself by trying to, like that last week of September, overwhelming myself with some sort of books that are only for that readathon. And it's not even a readathon, it's an activity-a-thon. I mean, that's why I love Slime and Slashers, like, activity-a-thons so much, because it's not just simply you're reading, it's also you're watching, you're doing, you're just making in some situations, and it feels very loose for you to feel like a part of something, and it's so much fun. So if that sounds exciting to you, fantastic, because that leads me into my next announcement, which is I'm starting a Patreon. I've been wanting to start a Patreon for so long, and I think what became a big boost and push for me is recently starting to kind of getting pushed into freelancing full time. Not only the fact of we're monetized, y'all. That's crazy. Like, that's wild. But YouTube apparently thought, oh, you're like an influencer that needs to be paid now because of how many people are watching your stuff. Thanks, YouTube. I will take your $5 every month right now. But I mean, it was just exciting. As y'all know, it's not necessarily, I didn't start YouTube necessarily for that reason. I just really wanted somewhere for me to yap about my books that I was reading and my Halloween stuff and my crafts and everything. And I didn't feel like I'd found that community in real life and a place for my creativity that was like beyond just Instagram posts to kind of live. And so it's like really validating and crazy to be like, yo, there's over 1,000 of y'all that like watching this, and y'all watch enough of it for like YouTube to go, oh, let's make some money off of you. So that's what it is. But also realizing that now my ideas have outgrown even my possibilities for the YouTube channel, and that now I'm going into Patreon and being like, I need another place to put some more of this content and these other ideas that just don't fit in the realm of YouTube. And that was where, and with me freelancing and stuff, I really was like, I need to really take a serious look at Patreon. And so next Tuesday, I will be officially announcing on my Instagram that I'll be opening my Patreon. But for people who are following me right now on YouTube, you guys can join now. There will be a announcement here in the description, and a link to my Patreon. I have 4 tiers, and really that had to do with flexibility of what you can provide, as well as just, you know, this channel has never been just one thing. It's never been just books, and it's never been just Halloween, and it's never been just art. It's always been my creative life, and that was all encompassing, and I wanted that to be possible and obtainable for anybody who wanted to, you know, pay back any money and receive anything from me. So I have 4 tiers, and each one is named something cute, but each one also offers a different level of access, one to content as well as receiving things per month. I know that I usually like to follow Patreons for one, crafting videos, instruction videos, learning how somebody did that, and the behind the scenes look because I'm nosy. But also, as far as artists are concerned, I love getting art from them monthly. It feels really great, and it just feels like great. I'm like stocking up on this stuff, and I really hope that like anybody who follows or supports me will think the same. So my first tier are the Simply Sweeties. My partner has been calling anybody who follows me the Sweeties for the longest amount of time, and I would get mad at him, and now I'm kind of like, it does kind of sound cute, so here we are. So Simply Sweeties, $5 a month. where I will be listing more recommendations, list of recommendations, both movie and TV and books. I already have my first list ready to go, and I did some research for it. I had a lot of fun doing that, so expect more content like that. Here, I'll be doing some shorter things and recommendations on my Instagram, and of course, still doing some YouTube videos here and there here. But if you're looking for more content again and more recommendations, then make sure that you check me out on Patreon, because I will be making sure that I'm making posts and longer, more in-depth recommendations there. If you are subscribed to my Night Terror magazine, which I do with Your Spooky Mom monthly, you know that I'm a big, I'm a sponge, and I just soak up tons of information and movies and books and stuff, and so I can't wait to share that stuff with you all, because there will be recommendations, findings, crafts I'm planning to try. I am a huge collector of old craft books, and I constantly am wanting to share them with other people, like these amazing crafts that I find. So I will be taking screenshots and trying them out and all this other stuff. So it's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to sharing that with all of y'all. There'll be BTS behind like crafting and decor videos. I have a special video planned for actually my official announcement that will be coming out on Tuesday. And it'll be a special video that will be a behind the scenes look of my upcoming decor videos as well. When I update my shop, you'll have early access to that. Planning videos, which brings me into my point about the Halloween-a-thon. I will also be planning my Halloween-a-thon on vlog style, and you all will get to see the behind the scenes of all of that, how I've decided how to plan it, both my social media content for that Halloween-a-thon as well as my reading and watching schedule and everything. So you'll get to see a behind the scenes look of that, as well as some upcoming challenges. As y'all know, I do Trick or Sweet, which is a drawing challenge I created myself, which I do throughout all of October. And last year, I actually posted a video of me planning Trick or Sweet for the month of October. And this year, I think I'll just do an announcement and a quick video saying what everything will be. But if you want an in-depth look of how I've planned it, because I planned them off of my favorite TV shows and movies of October, and compare them to tarot cards, and this year we'll be doing the minor arcana, then check that out. That will all be on Patreon. This is what I have all planned. I've been working on it, guys. And then extra videos for overall content. Sometimes I cannot like keep up, and there's only so many days in the week as far as posting here on YouTube, and also posting at the level that is what is expected with my YouTube videos, and making so many illustrations and stuff like that. Expect these videos to be a little bit more like my vlogging videos that I was putting out at one point. I plan on taking those vlogging videos, and those will probably end up on my Patreon now. They no longer are going to be like something to expect here on the channel, but only on my Patreon. I loved doing them, especially because it felt very low, like, I don't want to say low effort, because there was still effort put into them, but it wasn't like we have pop-ups every 2 seconds and tons of illustrations and everything. It was just more like, spend time with me, let's plan, in depth. I wanted to share it because some of this stuff is interesting, but I don't want to sit here and have to plan out a whole week in order for me to have enough time to put up all the graphics and stuff in these videos. So expect that, and I really wanted a place to share that, because a lot of videos have gone to the wayside because I just don't have time to illustrate that many things for that many videos and everything. And so that's also where the Patreon will have some more content. And I plan to do movie watch parties and like readathons and stuff. So I have been watching a lot more films and TV, and I want to kind of start doing some watch parties, especially with October coming up, and even short readathons, like not necessarily like my sprints, which will still be here on the channel. I know I haven't done one in a very long time, and I plan to do one this month, but more like readathons where it's like, okay, we're doing something for just the weekend. You know, we're knocking out a bunch of books and everything, and I already have an idea for the first readathon that'll happen over there, and it'll be just something that's a Patreon exclusive. So that's the first tier for $5. It's mainly like content driven. Like I was like, you want some more content and everything? Here it is for $5 a month. and everything. You get some more content, some more videos, some more lists, some more information, crafts, all of that. The next tier is $10 a month, and that's my book club sweethearts. Basically everything that you get from the first tier, but I'll be sending a monthly bookmark to you. I will also be sending a monthly bookish item. Starting off, we'll be doing bookmarks, but as it kind of moves forward, I know that you can only add so many bookmarks and everything. I know because I've signed up for stuff and I got like tons and tons of bookmarks, and you don't need tons of them and everything. I really want to start looking into stuff that's not just printed bookmarks, but also just other bookish items, whether that's special post-it notes or sticky notes or pins or things of that nature that feel very like attached to books. And right now I have it labeled at 10. I was going back and forth on 10 to 15, and right now I have it at 10 because I just haven't fully solidified that idea. And at the moment, I feel like with what you're getting as far as the bookmark's concerned, that's the worth of it. But that'll be designed by me, as well as a monthly book club Zoom meeting once a month to discuss books read that month. Now, it's not necessarily that I'm going to choose a book of the month and we're all going to talk about it, but more so, I would love for a book club meeting that's not, oh, we chose a book and we all read it together, but rather, hey, here are the books that I read this month. Let's all talk about the books we read this month and everything. More of a conversation and community around that. I feel like there's a lot of pressure when you assign a book and you're like, oh, I gotta read that book, and there's an assignment attached to it, everything, and it sometimes pushes you into a slump. Sometimes it's just nice to get around other people who are reading and talk about what they're reading, and then you find new books. You can, if you read the book they already read and stuff, like, you can talk about those books. That is what I want my monthly book club to kind of be about, and I'm not even really calling it a book club yet because I don't really want to like solidify it too much, even though I know the tier is called Book Club Sweethearts and everything. But I really want to focus on just creating a community. Once a month, people get together and just talk books. Not necessarily we all read the same one, just we're talking about them. So that's offered in my $10 second tier. My third tier are my art club sweethearts. This one, you will receive a monthly physical art print every month delivered to you, and in the future, I don't know, maybe it'll be something else, but right now I think just doing an art print is achievable and something that I sometimes appreciate getting from artists as well, and why I sign up for some of their tiers, as well as a monthly art club Zoom meeting where we work on something together, whether that's a specific art project that we're all doing the same thing of, or it's a crafting adventure. Like I mentioned, I collect a lot of crafting books, and I'm constantly going, I wish I was doing more stuff in those books. Or it's just the fact of like a work session. I have found it so helpful in real life to sit here and meet up with other artists at a cafe and not even talk. We're just working together. We're body doubling. Oh, I've been meaning to sketch. Oh, you're sketching? I'm going to sketch. Or I'm going to paint while you do whatever you need to do. And it's so helpful. Starting off, I really wanted to kind of be these artwork sessions because I want to build an art community as well as a book community, of course. And I think that'd be great to kind of have an online space where, like, for an hour every month, once a month, you have a dedicated location where you know you can do something like that. And where a better place than making my own if I'm looking for it. So that is the Art Club Sweethearts. Once again, you get all of the Simply Sweeties tier, and as well as those two things as well. And then finally, there is the whole shebang Sweetie Pies. And that one will be absolutely every single thing from every single tier. You will receive the bookish item, which started off as a bookmark. You will receive a monthly art print. You will receive access to the book club meeting as well as the art club meeting, and everything from the Simply Sweeties tier, as well as you will receive one extra goodie every month, whether that is a sticker, a zine, a sketch, whatever my new craft obsession is or whatever. You will receive a list of curated book recommendations or whatever. You will receive something extra every month that has just been hand touched, not like, you know, I drew it and then we made prints and stuff, but something that's just special. I know that I always like see someone like Lee Ellickson who's making their monthly sketches, and I'm always like, I wish that I had something that kept me accountable to making some physical work like that, even if it was something small, because in the past I've received stuff like that and it feels so special, and I really wanted to make sure that I had a tier that offered that, as well as offered something for other people who are living very creative lives and aren't just books and aren't just art. So that is my Patreon. Those are the things that I'm offering. Even if you're not following me, I'm hoping to maybe offer some things that are just like tidbits of things here and there, just to start out, because I know sometimes it's hard to commit and everything. I know we all are going through this cost of living crisis, but I really, really am excited to be starting the Patreon and sharing like bits and pieces and sending things to y'all and creating a community online that's not just simply me talking to you all. I have really found, and like I said at the beginning of this video, you all were so supportive when I took the small break that I did in order to like recharge with everything going on. And you all have also been talking in my comments, and it's just been extremely nice. And I really do want to keep growing the community and that I've built here online, and meeting you all, and even getting some time to do like these Zoom meetings. I'm so excited to do. I've really noticed that like meeting on Zoom some people that I've made friends with on Instagram as far as Bookstagram is concerned has been so helpful and really great in feeling like, oh, I have someone to talk to about this stuff and not just geek out about it. You know, your spooky mom, me and Ellie have become really great friends, and we've never met each other in real life. We're using social media the way it was first intended, y'all, and it's so great, and I'm having such a great time. And so I'm hoping this Patreon really is just an extension of that. So please check that out if you can, and if it sounds great to you. Like I said, the link is down in the description, and please sign up to support the membership. I can't wait for... I'm nervous. I'm nervous no one's gonna sign up, but I'm also like, I've done it. I put myself out there just like I put myself out there with the YouTube and everything, and we're continuing to do that. And I can't wait for y'all to kind of start seeing it and rolling it all out and all of that. So check that out if you can. I'm so nervous making the announcement, but I'm excited. Super, super excited. I think those are all my announcements for September. September is quite the month, both reading-wise and getting back on that, as well as just creation-wise. I am coming out with my Halloween decorating videos. I say shortly, the next video is supposed to be a decorating video. I'm so excited, and that will be a series this year, because last year was I messed up and I didn't record properly, and this year I'm so happy with how each one of my sections and themes turned out. And I'm gonna tell you, these videos start off where it's like, I don't think we're gonna make it. I don't think the theme is gonna get there. I don't think we're gonna make it. And somehow they pull through, and I'm so excited to show y'all how they ended up and how we even got there. If you're following me on Instagram, you've already had a sneak peek to see the final result of all the different spaces and themes that were in my home this year, and those videos are gonna start dropping for you guys to get an in-depth look of how we got there. Is that all? I'm like, I feel like there's so much to announce. I'm like, okay, Patreon, decorating videos, crafting videos. Crafting videos will be back. Don't worry about that, because I still have to do my vintage pumpkin pails, and I have to do my broom. It will probably be closer to the end of the month or the beginning of October, to be completely honest. But sure, it's on theme. It's still okay. Those things were a lot more involved than I expected, though, and with everything that happened, there was just no way that I was really going to get to them, even though I have all the materials, which is fine. We wait, we breathe, we'll put it out and everything. I'm teaching myself that. I appreciate y'all for watching. Please subscribe down below if you like today's video, and if you're excited to see all the different content that seems to be rolling out in the next couple of months. We are in the moment. The weather has not gotten the memo that it is now spooky season, but we're here. We're in it. And please like this video if you like today's video. Once again, please go and support me on my Patreon. I'm really so excited and nervous about it, but I'm so super excited to share all that content with you guys that I have planned out to roll out for the rest of this month there. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.